Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer. At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 4 a.m. on Saturday in London. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for being here. Jeff is in Michigan. They're attending his nephew's graduation on Sunday. I'm going to look at comments real quick. Oh, hey, Janie Becker. Welcome. Happy first Friday of June. Hello from Michigan. Great to see you both here. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, and we got a couple more. Hi, Scott. Welcome. Hello, everyone. And Dawn. Howdy, folks. I'm so glad you're here. It's always a better show when you are. So Jeff had a couple of thoughts for you from the cybersecurity news aspect. He recommends that you update Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. Apparently they're kind of the same thing. He has some more details. For now, though, this update fixes security vulnerabilities. Everyday Spacer is sponsored by CME Computer and IT Solution. Tonight, we're going to name that neutrino. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. There's a link to that book in the description. Nope, it's not a game show. It's a citizen science project. I'll read a little bit from the Zooniverse site. Every second, around 100 trillion neutrinos pass through our bodies unnoticed. At the South Pole, the IceCube Neutrino Observatory detects these elusive particles and works to identify their astronomical origins. This requires a huge amount of data, with a terabyte of data recorded every single day. This is where you can help. When a neutrino interacts in ice, a signal or light pattern is produced. We're asking you to watch a clip of the signal and classify the shape. By doing this, you will help IceCube eliminate background signals, and your contributions will also be compared to machine learning predictions to help train and improve AI algorithms. IceCube is the largest particle detector in the world and allows us to address several unanswered questions in physics, from the origin of cosmic rays to the nature of dark matter and neutrino oscillations. Again, that is from the Zooniverse. I will look at more comments. Oh, hey, Naomi, welcome. We're so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. So allow me to demonstrate. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Sure. Here we go. So this is the, the basic platform for Zooniverse. It looks a lot like a lot of the other ones. They do have this banner across. April is Citizen Science Month. April's over, though, so you can watch for it next year. The Drexel IceCube team has you decoding signals from space. And this is, in fact, the Drexel, the IceCube neutrino detector in the background here. We have a couple of images. This is what you're going to be looking for. Oh, nobody's talking about this. Right. Most of the time I've seen it, there have been some people talking about the Name That Neutrino project. Now, you'll notice that it's 0% complete, but we have 180,000 classifications for 7,840 subjects. That's like 23 per. We have quite a few volunteers, 4,285. I just read to you that part right here. But they do talk about long-term goal, have citizens and artificial intelligence work in tandem to push the boundaries of neutrino astronomy. Now, I pulled up a couple of, I had this one, but I think it's in the tutorial as well. So I'm not gonna have that one as another tab too. But they do have the official website. We'll see that shortly, and some social media places. I would like to go up here now and talk to you. Let's see. Let's go to the about. As usual, we have all these different research, the team, results, education, FAQ, which is frequently asked questions. IceCube is this neutrino observatory at the South Pole. It is the largest particle detector in the world, and I'm astonished that this many neutrinos reacts with this ice at the South Pole. So you'll see some of the things when we start playing with the task. So there it is, and it was a little bit clearer picture for you. It sounds amazing. The signal within the ice cube is represented by a series of bubbles. You can see a picture of these bubbles here. They show you which sensors have detected light. They're color-coded, with the red ones come the earliest. And then they go into I think it's basically all the colors of the spectrum. The blue ones for the last light that's detected. There are 5 main types of signal here: through going track, starting track, stopping track, skimming, and cascade. And we'll see all of those when we work through the tasks. So this one here, hard to say. It might be like this cascade thing, which is kind of a bubbly looking thing in the detector, or it could be actually a track, which is they have the 3 kinds: through going track, starting track, stopping track. And it kind of, is it going all the way through the detector? Does it start in the detector, or does it stop within the detector? Again, we'll see those shortly. Why they need your help. There's more than 5,000 light sensors arranged in a 3D grid. And this is sort of, well, let's see. Nope, there's the other ones at the beginning. These were sort of a representation of that grid. These are 1 cubic kilometer deep in the South Pole ice sheet. 1 terabyte of raw data are recorded daily, and we need your help to ensure we properly classify these events. And with about 23 people, and probably more, because as you see, they're at 0% complete. So I suspect like some of these projects are going to want a whole bunch of people to work with each and every single. These are short videos, they're clips. They've recently developed machine learning algorithms that work to identify the different types, but they're not perfect, of course. Sometimes misclassify the signals. We need your help to investigate this by looking at the signals individually. People are very good at pattern recognitions. Your work will be compared to the performance of these machine learning algorithms. After this comparison, we can begin to work on 2 potential projects: retrain the machines and switch to classifying real signals instead of simulations. All right. So here is the team. All these fine people from Drexel University, basically. Oh, here's a high school person. Drexel. And yeah, if you want to come here and look into these folks, there's some more information on them. I think all these are links to them as well. And we've got University of Wisconsin-Madison. Thanks to Peter Mason, who provided an enormous amount of help. Our team is very grateful to him for his vast knowledge of Zooniverse. Yeah, these people are comprised of teams, and they figure out how to present these projects to you. And you may remember from Sadie Coffin, she told us something about that. We do have some translators for this: Spanish, German, Dutch, Italian, French. Pretty much covers the whole world. These are the folks that were team members in the past, mostly from Drexel University again, University of Toronto. There you go, and there's Jim right there. It's based on the work of high school internships run by the Wisconsin IceCube Particle Astrophysics Center. Here's the WIPAC, UW-Madison, which was partially co-founded by QuarkNet. Oh, I didn't look at that. Let's take a look. We'll see it in a second. The mentors are these folks here, and the students are these folks here. Oh, it looks like different years they were involved with it. A nice picture of them. All right, next up is it's coming, results. You're going to have results like a lot of these projects. So we'll look at those in a second. We'll look at those because I wanted to go over, nope, I didn't, sorry. I wanted to go to classify. That's where I'm going next. Yes, and here we have our nice tutorial. Pretty much like always, I really like this graphic of the detector. I think it gives you a pretty good idea because right here, this little teeny thing here, 324 meters tall, is a representation of how big it is with the Eiffel Tower next to it. They've got 50 meters for this part, 1,450 meters for the main detector. These are these long. I'm not sure what's on these. If it's got to be lights, right? It's got to be lights. 2,045 meters. I think that they're adding them up. And they're actually in bedrock. I thought that was kind of interesting. So this is kind of the typical stuff. I think this is a pretty good tutorial. You kind of get the idea of what you're doing. Of course, you know, the field guide over here can give you some real specific details, but if you wanted to go through this fairly short tutorial and actually start, I think you could. The IceCube Neutrino Observatory detects mysterious particles called neutrinos. They can provide information about exploding stars or supermassive black holes. Yep. You can press continue or the little button.
An event, let's first watch
this. And there's that video.
Notice that these red bubbles appear and then a big cluster of green bubbles. It looks like it might be a signal. Let's click through the video again using the mouse pointer, and then we can scrub through with the arrow keys to get a little bit more precise. Once this green appears, it looks like it might be a spherical shape, so I'm going to call it a cascade. If you were unsure, you can always hit done and talk to go to the forum, where you can ask questions like, I thought it might be this, but does anyone have a different opinion? And if so, why? For a lot of general questions, you can click the field guide on the right-hand side to see things like what the different colors mean, in which case it refers to the time that that event was recorded chronologically. There's a lot of great information and diagrams here, but make sure you check out the tutorial for a general overview.
And that's just going to keep looping until you pause it. So as I think it's a very good video, and that is what you could pull up from that first page, and you could see it in a really big video. But I think this is good enough. You'll be asked to classify the signal shown in the video. It's a group of bubbles, basically, the way they look, how they look when they're going through, or either passing through the detector or involved with the detector somehow. Yep, track or spherical cascade. And then when it's a track, they'll ask you what kind of track. Are the bubbles going in a straight line, producing a track, or are they starting in the middle and moving outward in a circular cascade? All right, so they have some pictures of them. That's cascade. Here's a track, and this one is skimming. So that's the third kind. It actually doesn't really involve itself much with the detector because it's at the edges or the bottom or the top. Well, I don't think the top is actually, I don't think I've seen anything that's pretty much involved with the top of the detector. These are the three categories: cascades, tracks, skimming, just like we said. And there's a couple different kinds of tracks: starting, through going, stopping. It took me a couple of reviews to understand what they're really talking about here. So I think through going is the most easy to understand. It just passes from outside through the detector back to outside. But these other ones actually are within the detector. They don't look like they're passing all the way through. They either start in the detector or they stop in the detector. And that's what they're saying, starting here and stopping here. I cannot see your comments yet, so I'm going to check whenever I'm done with this tutorial, just so we keep up with each other. All right, then you pick the track, as we said, starting, through going, or stopping. So those are the basic tasks for this particular project. And they do, let's see, some of these are difficult to classify. Let's see, they say this cascade above, it almost looks like it's on the edge of the detector. I think that's what they're saying here, that, yeah, rewatch the video. And I actually put my cursor on and ran it back and forth, kind of like doing an old movie, just to say, and slowed down or speeded it up, just so I could see what the heck is happening. Where are these little bubbles showing up first? What are they, are they like the process, the red through to blue, basically the rainbow. Some videos have lots of noise. That would be kind of the random little bubbles you see that aren't part of this possible cascade, which just seems like it's on the edge. They say it here. It looks like a cascade. This event should be classified as skimming because it is so close to the edge. they do run these as a video so you can kind of tell in a 3D aspect what they're doing, where they're going. Your work classifying these signals can truly help us solve some astrophysical mysteries. Yay! Tutorial, field guide, like all the Zooniverse projects. Good luck and thank you. So let me hit the let's go. We'll look at that shortly. I'm going to come back and see if we have comments. Oh boy. All right. So Scott says, what? Counting neutrinos sounds like something in my nightmares. Scott, how fast can you count to 1 trillion? Not fast enough. I love it. Get help from the count on Sesame Street. Yes. Danny, I don't like that count. I prefer Count Chocula. All right. The Count and Chocula could collaborate. Bravo. So let me go back to our project and run this video briefly. Oops. Let me do something first, because you're going to want to see. I'll get there. Because you're going to want to see the whole video. In fact, I'm going to probably run it a couple of times. The little part of the bottom that has the controllers, play, and it shows you the path and stuff, that can get out of the way if you move the cursor away. All right, so let's go on. We'll play this one. This is our first one that we can see how it goes away. And as you watch these, see, they're all 7 seconds. I don't think, there's no volume to these. I mean, it's inside the ice sheet that's detecting the neutrinos in this grid. So let me go ahead and show you what, and I'll actually move this up. When I was playing with this, I had to go back and forth and just watch it like in small increments like this. And let me show you what that looks like in the actual video. Let's see if I can find the beginning of these. And it takes a second to catch up, I noticed. Yep, there's the very first ones that sort of look like a straight line here. Now, are they inside this detector? It looks like they're inside this detector. You see how it's not at the edge? So I would say this is not a skimming track. I guess the word is track. All right. If you can see that, see how they start off? You've got them kind of, it looks like they're coming from outside the detector at the top there and going through. So it's some kind of a track, I think. And this is the one thing I found to be very useful, to just put the cursor on the little dot here that indicates where you are in the video, and just kind of go back and forth with it to see at the point of entry what that is looking like very slowly. And of course you can change your speed. You've got on the bottom here 0.25 times, 0.5, and 1. But I found it to be very useful to actually see how it lags a little bit, actually run it through with my cursor on the dot. All right, so let's classify this. We're going to call it a track. Well, this is new. Oh, here it is. Here, it's at the bottom. What type of track is this? Sorry, forgot. Is it a starting track? In other words, it starts within the detector. Or is it a stopping track, meaning it comes from outside and stops in the detector? Or is it a through going track? This kind of looks to me like it actually starts at the top and passes all the way through the bottom. It doesn't really start or stop within the detector. I feel like it comes from outside, goes all the way through, and goes back outside again. So that's what I'm going to classify. Again, 20, maybe more people are in fact doing each one of these. So I would say don't be too hard on yourself. Do the very best you can, and then try another one. I think the more you play with them, the more you'll kind of see. So what we've got here next is this identify button here. And you can cancel if you want. I'm going to go ahead and click on identify. If you want to talk to somebody, you've got the blue button here. If you feel like you're done and you want to get to the next task, go ahead and click done, and they will deliver. So there's the next one. I think that's kind of the hardest one of all. But well, okay, we've got, let me go back to where, see, those are the noise. That's coming first, the red. And then we've got a few on the edge. But I think they're on the very edge. And again, you can play it back and forth. Oops, see, yep, edge, edge. And maybe it would be a cascade if you had more of your strands of detectors and you could tell. But I think this is going to be a skimming one. And I think that's really skimming. Yeah, this is really it. You don't have choices like with the track. Skimming would have, I love this part too. They have a bit of an explanation still, especially for when you're getting started. I think it really helps to, oh yeah, that's what skimming means. The bubbles are from the signal only near the edge. It's a small part. Yep, so go ahead and identify. Again, you're done and talk or done, and you get to your next task. Oh, now that's an interesting one. It looks like it was a track. I don't think it's a cascade. I'd like you to see the cascade since that's the only one we haven't really seen yet. But you can, whoops, sorry. You can go back, and I really love doing this with the cursor right. Yeah, look at that. It looks like it's coming from maybe outside. And then, well, is it going all the way through? And as it turns, you can kind of tell. I don't think it does a full 360, so it makes it a little bit harder, but I can't tell if it's stopping inside the detector or if it went all the way through the detector. Let's take a look at that again real quick. See, those far blue ones might be on the other side of the detector. We just can't quite see that side of the detector. I'm going to go ahead and call it a track, and I think I'll say through going track. I think it went all the way through. Oh, and by the way, you can in fact switch this, but I found this a little bit harder to really see what's going on. The black background with these colors of dots was a little bit easier in my opinion, but you do have options. And I haven't really played the video, so you can actually see the whole video as it goes. I'm going to go back to the black background and call this a through going track. Identify and done. All right, let me quick check for comments. I'm playing solo tonight, so bear with me. All right, we heard from Sesame Street and Count Chocula, and what's this one? Okay, and then hey Cliff, welcome. You're fine, and you can certainly catch the beginning of the replay. Love it. Okay, let me go back to, I think this is a new one, right? Yeah, we haven't really played this yet. So let's just watch it through once. That's all over the place, I feel. I think we do have some action in the bottom here. Let's play it again. It's a bit fast when you just watch the video. Oh, since it's at 1 speed, let's go ahead and kick it down to 0.25. See in the corner here? And let's see what that looks like. And you can choose your speed based on those 3 options. That's a little bit easier. Oh, something happened over here and then one over there. But it looks like it's very close to the bottom of this detector to me. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Kind of the action looks like it's done here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beginning of the actual maybe track. Boy, that's kind of all over the place. And it's very, very close to the edge. I think I'm just going to call it skimming. And if you have a different idea, let me know in the comments. I will look at them periodically. All right, so skimming, just because it was so close to that edge, it's really hard to tell if it's going to be sort of a cluster of them, which is the cascade, or if it's some kind of track. I'm looking for a cascade for you. I want you to see that. That's kind of neat. There we go. Lots of random so far. Oh, I have it on half speed. That's why. Or a quarter speed, sorry. All right, there we go. There's something at the bottom. Again, I think I think it's a skimming. And I do love this because you can, in fact, really control the speed where you want to see it. Lots of randomness. Oh, and then we got this right in the middle. Could it be a cascade? Maybe. I just think it's too close to the edge again. Let's call it skimming. Like I said, you kind of get used to what you're seeing, and you can get better at identifying these as you go. All right. Oh, let's speed it up. Let's give you one speed. That goes pretty fast, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. There's something in the greens. Man, it's hard to tell what it is, though, isn't it? All right, if we do this, maybe we'll see it starting right there. Oh, I think it's inside the detector. But it's really hard to tell if there's any kind of track. I don't know. Tell you what, I'll run this a little bit, and you put in comments what you think this is, and we'll choose that one from the options on the right. All right, one more time, and I'm gonna take a poll from the audience. What do you think this is? I'm not really sure. Wow, that is. All right, let's see what you decide. Hey, we're still talking to each other. What do you think that was? Give me some ideas. I really don't know on this one. It's so small. It's so small, and there's so little of it. Look at those little tiny. But it definitely starts inside, right? So I would call that a starting if it is in fact a track. I don't really feel like it is a track. What say you? I don't feel like it's a cascade either. I don't think it's on the edge, right? That looks more like in this part. You see at the top, this part of the detector, not on the edge. What are your thoughts? Okay, I don't know. Yes, Janie, I don't know either. I can't tell. Well, all right. Let's say it's a track, and I guess maybe starting track, because it sort of looks like it's starting inside the detector, right? Let's see. It's not coming from like the edge. All right, we'll identify. Again, there are a lot of people that are also identifying these, and I think when the scientists see a lot of the same identifications, they can be pretty sure that that is in fact what it is. If there's lots of different types of answers from all the people that are answering, I have a feeling they'll be able to go ahead and check. Now, I think this is what they said. Didn't they say at the beginning that this is a sort of a test series to help train their AI? All right, let's see what we get next. We're at 1. Good. That'll go pretty fast. Oh, definitely a skimming, right? See it on the edge? That was easy to tell. Skimming. Come on, give me a cascade. I want to show you. Oh, there's another one that's through. Maybe. Track and through. Through going track. I'll do a couple more. If we don't get a cascade, you're going to have to come and try it for yourself. Oh, look at that. I think that's a cascade. See how it just sort of blooms right there in the corner? It is very close to the edge still. I don't know if I'd call it skimming though, because there is a good volume of it inside this detector. Tell me if you think that feels right. All right, we got a cascade. And it's, again, just a simple choice and identify, and then you're done. All right, let me go ahead and move on. Oh, you know what? I pulled up these. Let's see what these are. QuarkNet. That was the... sorry, I haven't seen this before, so let's read it. The QuarkNet collaboration is a long-term national program that partners high school science teachers with particle physicists working in experiments at the scientific frontier. That's cool. Opportunities to participate. Oh, I love this. Jeff, we may need to make this one of our episodes. All right, and then this was... What is this? Oh, I see. It's a cookies thing. Guess we have no choice. We have to accept. Citizen science for IceCube, name that neutrino. So it looks like it's an article. Was this the results? I think this might have been the results. Name that neutrino is a citizen science project where volunteers aid in classification of events for the IceCube Neutrino Observatory, an immense particle detector at the geographic South Pole. From March 2023 to September 2023, volunteers did classifications of videos produced from simulated data of both neutrino signal and background interactions. Oh, that's a couple years ago. I wonder if... Do we have real data? I don't know. They obtained more than 128,000 classifications by over 1,800 registered volunteers that were compared to results obtained by a deep neural network machine learning algorithm. Possible improvements for both name that neutrino and the deep neural network are discussed. So there's a couple of things going on with this results paper. All right. One of the things at the very beginning was a link to this IceCube Neutrino Observatory website. Lots of beautiful pictures here. I didn't delve into this as much because I was really focused on the tasks. And as you can see, this is sort of a representation of the detector. All the little bubbles, although they don't have the right colors. Oh, that's it. But they do have a bunch of other pieces to it about us, science, collaboration, outreach, life at the pole. I've seen their pictures on Instagram, and wasn't I saying, Jeff, they must be so bored. It was pretty funny. So check that out. Oh, I just realized I have the original Zooniverse to share with you in the chat. So I'll do that as soon as I'm done with this part. IceCube Gen 2, what's new? IceCube Gen 2. And there's a really cool... Can I find it again? It might have been on their Instagram page. They made a model with actual like little LED lights. It was very cool. You know, if you want to dive into this, you've got a variety of pieces, parts that you can check out on your own. I don't think I want to go too much into it. And they have a YouTube channel. So you have 130 videos. You want to learn some more? It seems like some of them are, there's not too much that's kind of fresh and recent though. So check them out, but know that they're like 9 months ago is this one. The live episodes, I guess they weren't that bored 1 year ago. But they make more videos for you, right? All right, and they have, nope, that's something else. That's a spoiler, sorry. I'm going to come back to me and talk to you about... Oh, mystery, yes. All right, so let's see. I'm going to, where are my notes? Yes, here we go. So yeah, I did some quickie math, and you know, at the point I looked at it was 179,000 divided by 7,840 was 22, almost 23 people were classifying each of these subjects already. I think this is a nice citizen science project. Some parts of it might seem a little tricky, but I would say give it a go anyway. They have plenty to work on, so check it out. You might enjoy this one. Jeff, yeah, it was on their Instagram page, right? Yeah, it was very cute. When they made, like, that's what I said, they must be so bored because they would like make cakes that look like the detector for various anniversary things and so forth. So there's the project. Oh, and let me share the link. This should be a clickable link. Yep, it didn't break. So you can go and visit the Zooniverse page for yourself. All right, so we have some stellar events this week. We're talking about June 6th through June 13th. Do add your comments, though. I will continue to look for them, and we can go back to the detector page if you want. Since it's the beginning of the month, I tend to mention to you, check out starmaps.com. You can download their free 2-page PDF and look for objects in the night sky. And they have options for naked eye, for binoculars, and for telescope. If you have all those pieces of equipment, you can use them all. If you just have your naked eye, check it out. Go outside and take a look as well. I've also got the Farmer's Almanac June synopsis in front of me. I will go ahead and recite that for you. On the 1st, the crescent moon floats just above Leo's blue star Regulus and just below fading orange Mars. Jupiter's final weeks of visibility find it very low in the evening twilight at 9:15 p.m. Not that I would know. It's been fogged over for days. From the 12th to the 30th, Mercury offers its finest showing of 2025. Low in the west-northwest, and with 2 W's, it's going to be closer to west than northwest. From 9 to 9:15, its brightest magnitude negative 0.8 occurs during the early part of the period. Look for Mercury low to the left of the crescent moon on the 26th before it achieves a more comfortable 8-degree elevation. That sounds so low to me, though. 8 degrees? It's not even, remember the fingers? If you put your hand up, it's between here and here is 10 degrees. So that seems very low to me, especially if you have things in the way. That's going to be from the 29th to the 30th. On the 29th, Mars hovers just above the crescent moon, seeming to observers in the eastern U.S. and Canada to almost touch it. Summer begins with the solstice on the 20th at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that's kind of the whole month since we're at the beginning of June. I do have for the following week, June 6th is Spica is 0.5 degrees north of the moon. June 7th, the moon is at apogee. June 10th, Antares is 1.3 degrees north of the moon. June 11th is the full strawberry moon. There you go, Cliff. And, oh, we had that strawberry moon. Here it is. Let's show you that one. Because there's a variety of things on that page. And this is from Facebook. Somebody does these beautiful graphics, and I do like to share them when I find them. June 13th is back to Friday, the Friday night show. Jeff will take on a crunchy topic. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page. Maybe I noticed it broke tonight for both the Facebook pages and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. I think a lot of people are going there anyway. It's a great place to see us and watch the replay. What inspires you the most for the coming week? Oh, and you know what I noticed? The selfie page was finally working again. So let me go ahead and share that with you. So this was the, you might remember Mark Roper. He is the glitter bomb guy. And there's their satellite. They're going to eventually share pictures. I did send a picture from one of our shows. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Janie. Safe travels, Jeff. Congrats to the nephew. Blessings all. We're off to Relay for Life, Greater Long Beach, California walk tomorrow to help more people survive cancer, I suppose, right? All right, so let me go through this just a little bit. I do like the little graphic here where it pops down and you can see the pictures as they'll appear on the satellite, SatGus's launch. And basically you're going to get your picture with this nice curve of the Earth behind it. Since it's working, I encourage you to go and pick a picture for yourself, upload your selfie, send your selfie to our satellite, SatGus. She snaps a photo of your selfie with Earth in the background. We beam the final image back to Earth for you to share. And they have a hashtag, #SpaceSelfie. here's the deal. We're going to space, and now it's free for everyone. Space selfie. This is a cute little video by Mark Roper. Roper. He does some really fun stuff with not just glitter, but with the squirrels in his backyard. He puts them through these various obstacle courses and watch how they react to different things. Poor squirrels. Snap a selfie in space is really easy. You just put in your name and email address, hit the upload button, and that's their satellite that they sent. I think it's going to be a little while still before you can see your space selfie, but I think it has in fact launched. Let me grab this one. Crunchlabs.com. That's pretty easy. But let me grab it and put it into the chat for you. And Jeff says, thank you, Janie. Cliff says, it's just cold here now, down to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and finally getting better weather. I did notice that in Ohio when it was really cold, some nights we would have much better skies. All right, what else is on here? I think we've just got a whole bunch of these frequently asked questions things. Where's the satellite right now? I think that goes to this page here. Sort of like the Heavens Above tracks the space station and Tiangong and different things. This one is tracking SatGus, 17,000 miles per hour, faster than a bullet. It's orbiting 300 miles above the Earth. Wow. Okay. And a couple of things at the bottom. But yeah, they have the SatGus page. And when you sign up, you will get a nice little certificate with the squirrel on it. That's their mascot. I think the squirrel shows up. Well, it's the logo. Is the squirrel on the satellite too? I'm not sure. But anyway, at least this time it is working so that you can see how that looks. And if you can go to the page, this space, it is space.crunchlabs.com. Like I said, I put it in the chat. It went out to the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, the Facebook pages seem to have broken tonight. So if you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th, Jeff's Lucky Night. Anton Petrov did an episode of his show, and he talked about a new and interesting type of star. This sounds like a good one to add to our series on various stars. And get ready for another guest on June the 20th. Janie Becker is going to come and help us learn about healthy brain foods for sure. And I think there's some other things in there as well. So I will go ahead and keep watching for your comments even after the show. That's it for me though tonight. I think it's a really great project. Go check it out. And if you want to get your picture up there in space with the the squirrel, check that out too. Both of those links are in the chat. All right, so we had Cliff here, and Jeff was here. Thank you, Jeff. Janie Becker was here. Dawn and Scott. And, I know there's one more. Yes. Naomi. Naomi was here. Thank you so much, folks. I really appreciate every week that you are here with us. It's a wonderful time. I love to see the talking between you. We've bridged the gap. Here you are. You can talk to each other as well. And you help us so much. I really appreciate that too. So yeah, watch for next week. We'll have a nice star episode. And then the week after that, we'll have Janie Becker. Thank you so much, folks. Have a great night. Good night.